What's going on, guys? Aaron here. Welcome back to another episode of Full Package RC Podcast. With me, I have Mike
Yo, yo.
and I have Bob, aka my dad.
What's happening?
In this episode, we're going to mainly be talking about what makes you fly. We did a poll on our Facebook. We got some amazing responses. And this all stemmed from kind of a boring day at the field. We were having a lot of crashes, just kind of talking and BSing. And what makes you fly? And we definitely had some disagreements between a couple of us. Yeah, I guess we'll just start it off. How are you guys feeling today?
I'm feeling
Not
great.
bad.
Yeah, fantastic.
Glad
That's
to
good.
finally be back. I missed the last episode. It's been a little
Yeah, what have
crazy
you been
around
up
here,
to?
but
What's
oh
what's
man.
Mike been up to?
So it's funny because today I listened to the last episode I was on just to kind of remind myself where I left off with everybody. And I was talking about just buying the 420 and how I wasn't sure if it was going to scratch the itch. And
And
yeah, so now,
how's that all going for you, Mike?
uh, so I think I have three new helicopters since then.
Yeah.
So it's great. My plan of downsizing and trying to fly airplanes more has totally went off the rails.
Yep.
And yeah, I even got another nitro, so pretty stoked.
And
It'll be a good time at Urcha and a Cleveland steamer. So I'm part of the steamer club with Bob now.
Hey, there we go.
I was gonna say,
Yep.
and you got 6 weeks to still even find more to add to the fleet, but
No. Nope. This is it. I can't do it. If I want to be able to eat at Urcha, I gotta slow myself down.
well, if you have
I'll buy your food.
if you have this, since you have
What a pal.
you got the AK-700 from Steam now, and so do I. So now I think we got to get some decals that say Cleveland Steamer and probably put them on there.
I'm down with it.
I think we got to get something made up because that would be funny as hell,
Absolutely.
like something right along the boom.
Yep, with a little steamy pile at the end of it.
Yeah, we gotta find
Ooh.
somebody who can do that, who has a Cricut or something that can make a couple of those. That'd be perfect.
I still got a vinyl cutter somewhere around here. I have to see if I can get some. Actually, I think I have vinyl and everything still here
There
too.
you
So
go. You need to get on that.
I'll work on it. Let me see if I can make something happen.
That works.
If not, I know a guy. We can get some stickers made.
Yeah,
You know a guy. You got a guy who's got a guy.
I got a guy who does my stickers for free. So yeah, I got a plug.
Aren't you special?
What have you been up to? What have you been flying at all, Dad?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know how that's been going for me since you were there when some of it went wrong. But
Yeah,
I had-
what's been going? How's your field been going? How's your flying been
Actually,
going? Why?
I will say,
what happened?
flying's going good. I am, for years, I always had this thing with 700s. They always got inside my head when I went to fly them. And I can officially say I'm pretty much over that now. I've been flying primarily my big stuff, my 700s all year. That now when I try to fly, like, I flew my 550, the Steam 550 for the other day, and it actually felt small. So I'm kind of over that. I'm happy flying the big stuff. But the Tron update on that. That thing's flying amazing. I love how that thing flies. And that's
I
on
was going to
12S.
ask you about that today.
Yeah, that
too.
thing on 12S is flying really good. I got to make a couple adjustments yet that I'm just kind of tweaking through, but it's flying solid. I want to play with roll rates a little bit in the icon, but loving how it feels. My Steam AK-700 is flying awesome. But the Goblin 770, that thing I was struggled with that with a 3-blade head. I finally just said to hell with it. Went back to the original 2-blade head, set that up, went out, and the thing flies freaking great. So last week
Absolutely does.
I decided, here, Aaron, I'll let you give it a good shakedown. I haven't flown it hard enough. I don't fly hard enough to really test the tails and really give him a good workout. He takes off with it and just starts ripping on the thing. And I'm like, don't forget, this is a 770. It's not a small smack machine. He had a hard time figuring that one out, but it was taking it. It was taking it really well.
Anything can smack.
Yeah. And it was doing an absolute wonderful job. And I actually got it on video where he goes, "Oh, this thing's flying fucking solid." I took a clip with my phone. I no sooner turned my phone off and the tail just was done. It decided to not function properly anymore. He did a hell of a job saving it. It would have been way worse because it was inverted, losing the tail, pirouetting like crazy, and he put it down in the wheat field pretty good. Did a little bit on the boom where the breakaway bolt should have been. They did break away, but it split the boom a little bit. Nothing a little fiberglass work couldn't fix. Canopy's got a couple little, wear marks on it now, a couple cracks, little fiberglassing behind there, creative stickers, it'll be all fixed. So it's all good, but it basically was that on the tail hub, it's a 3-bladed tail, and there's a grub screw that just backed out a little bit, and it had Loctite on it. So I re-cleaned everything, set it all up, put everything back together, made sure everything was seated properly. So it was just one of those things that usually something like that doesn't happen, but it happened. So
I vaguely remember, wasn't that an issue or with the early goblins? Like, I don't remember if they weren't flat spotting the shaft or something like that.
well, the shaft is actually dimpled in. It's concaved in pretty hard on the tail shaft hub. So the set screw goes in and actually is in there pretty good. So it's just weird that nothing was stripped, nothing was messed up. It just must have loosened up enough, and then through whatever, it just backed it out, and the tail was done. So
Talk about feeling terrible. No 5 seconds before the tail started going crazy, he goes, "Yeah, man, I can't wait to fly this thing at Urcha. We better keep it good." And that happened. I was pissed to say the least, and I never get pissed with crashes, but it was one of those almost funny. It was just kind of comedic.
I was laughing.
I just had to laugh at it.
You were more upset. You came back you ran to grab the heli out of the field, and you came back. You were all upset. I was just like, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I didn't know what the problem was at that time, but there's no point in getting upset. I've done that in the past. I didn't care. I could see clearly.
I don't get upset with crashes. I get upset when they're dumb and completely avoidable, and that was one of those that. It
wasn't your fault.
Completely avoidable.
There was a mechanical thing, and it was just one of those things that happened. It's possible I didn't have it seated right. It's possible I didn't have it tightened right. Anything's kind of possible on any of that stuff. So it could have been my fault. Which I guess if you're going that way, I'm the one to blame on it from the assembly portion of it, I guess. But I'm over it.
Everything that day was compiled. The lack of sleep, the every other heli I flew giving me an issue.
Oh, yeah, your little OMP, your tail wanted to not cooperate when you've tried to fly that.
Yeah, I have another little helicopter, I won't name the name, that's been honestly just giving me issues since the absolute start, and I'm pretty frustrated with it.
It's been pretty good to you. Overall, you had some really good flights on it. It's been acting up now.
They're okay.
Yeah.
At best. But
is this a newer one?
Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's the one he won with you guys last year. I just said it a couple minutes
ago. Maybe 1 in every 10 flights when they're not giving me issues. But other than that, yeah, it was a good day of flying.
But that's kind of what sparked this for tonight's episode, though, while we were there talking.
Yeah, we were just kind of there after we were all having a day. There was just a bunch of small things going wrong, nothing big. And we started talking really what keeps you flying. And the biggest thing, the other guy we were flying with, one of our great friends, really just said to relax. He comes out to relax, have fun. And I've heard a couple other people say that, and it's funny because at least for me personally, I'm like the exact opposite. I don't fly to relax. I love the adrenaline. I love the oh shit, oh go, almost gonna crash. Oh gotta save it. Smacking it on the ground and that constant. Just what if that constant adrenaline for that 3.5 minute flight is what I go for and love about flying. And I know everyone has varying opinions on this, so I guess we'll just get right on into it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm on the same as what Larry was. We're there to relax. I work hard, working a lot, so I need a getaway to get away from the stresses of life and to relax. So I go there to chill out, hang out with people, and just put in some flights to do the stuff I know how to do. Every now and then I try some new stuff, and then I get a little, I don't want to say anxious, but I do a little bit. But yeah, so I'm all about the relaxing and just kind of unwinding, if you will, from a week of work, because my work week goes Wednesday to Sunday. So Mondays and Tuesdays are my Saturdays and Sundays, and I'm there just to relax and have fun.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in the hobby can agree with that. It's more of you can have different forms of stress relief. I think relaxing in this hobby can be a good one. And I don't get me wrong, I still like relaxing, at the field, bullshitting with a lot of the guys, just kind of hanging out and making it a relaxing day. But when I'm flying, I don't like to be relaxed.
So
Yeah.
I created
Yeah, I
a
would
poll.
say
Oh, go ahead.
I would say that the camaraderie and like hanging out, doing the hang thing, that's what gets me to the field. But then I kind of swing towards Aaron's side of it, and I don't do it as much as I used to anymore. But like trying to push myself a little bit, and maybe get that little bit of adrenaline dump from just barely missing the ground with your tail blades or whatever, and you're just like, oh man, let's see if we could do it again and again. That's what gets me like going when I'm flying. But I think the camaraderie and stuff is what gets me there to begin with.
That's
Yeah.
that's I would say that's pretty fair. See, for me,
I
I've never been on
love
flying. I don't fly hard enough to get that adrenaline rush. I've just always, I don't know for why, I can't say. I've just always flown sport, mild, and I just kind of enjoy it. And I really have no urges to say, oh, I got to go out and learn this new maneuver or try to do this new thing. I just, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, oh well, just kind of is.
Yeah, I get that, and I think Mike is a good example of feeding off energy at an event and kind of getting that adrenaline going. Like there is nothing, man. Like when we were at that event, I'm out on the flight line with Mike. I'm like, yeah, get it lower, and every time he's flipping it, he's hitting the ground, he's breaking skids on the ground because he's hitting the skids so hard.
broke
And
the
it's
skids
I
off of
love
a heli
that 'cause
for
you're
you.
feeding off someone else's energy. I could tell you had that adrenaline going, you were whooping up on it, and I love feeding off each other's energy at fun flies where it's almost like a one-upping. Oh, you flew hard, I gotta go lower. Oh, you're pushing me, you're telling me to go low, now I gotta keep it on the ground. And you're one of the few anymore, Mike, that actually listens and
Yeah.
and goes forward with my instigating.
So we at our club we had quite a while. We had a good run going with that kind of stuff. It was like everybody you could feel it when everybody got there. It was kind of slow and everybody just kind of warming up, doing just some man flights, And as they would progress, you would notice like somebody would start to kind of fly a little harder, and then the next guy would just take it a little bit further, and the next guy would go even further until eventually everybody's flying as hard as they can. Everybody's hooting and hollering in the background, and helis are getting crashed left or right, but everybody's laughing, having a good time. It was really cool back in like my club's heyday when we had, we would have 20, 25 helicopter guys out there on just a regular weekend. It was amazing.
Every time though you'd be flying, when I would come out to you guys though, I would go to walk out to you while you're flying, and I'd get yelled at.
That's because everybody else does it to me. So she's like,
Yeah,
"No, we don't need another one."
because she knew that I was about ready to try to talk you into the ditch or something.
Yeah. There was a good run there, and that's kind of what settled me down a little bit was when I was trying to push myself really hard. I was crashing at least 2 700s a weekend for almost a whole season straight, like almost every weekend, and it was getting super expensive. I was having a blast, but it was getting a little ridiculous trying to stay up till 2 a.m. Like Saturday, I would put one in, and we'd be flying again on Sunday, and I'd be up till 2, 3 a.m. trying to fix it. Or if we're going to a fun fly the next weekend, I'm overnighting parts, so I make sure they're there, and just being silly with it. So now I just kind of go out and do some very, very safe flying, and I think that's kind of what has been kind of been like put me in the dumps with not wanting to keep pushing with my helicopter stuff. So I'm trying to. I've actually busted the sim out this week, which I haven't touched in probably 4 years.
There we go.
And I'm going to try to get myself to learn a couple new maneuvers that I have never done before we go to IRCHA. That's like a little goal I'm setting up for myself. So
There you go.
we'll see.
Nice.
See if we
There we
can
go.
start flying hard again.
That's what I like to hear. But
Yeah.
get some low practice in. We're keeping you on the deck this year, buddy. Especially at IRCHA.
Yeah, we'll see.
Urch is getting us
We'll
pumped,
see.
that's for sure.
I'm not telling you guys what maneuvers I'm working on. That way, if I don't do them, then you'll never know.
We'll get
He's
him out of
working
you.
on reverse piro flips on the deck is what Mike said he's going to be doing.
Yep. But I got to be honest. the energy for me to want to get the sim out and do that is coming from like you guys getting fired up about going to IRCHA, and I've been messaging Bob about going out and picking up helicopters and all kind of nonsense, and I've been trying a new flywheelless system, which is a whole another topic for another day, but working with Kenny Hutton and trying to get my mojo going again, it's been pretty fun. I'm pretty fired up now, so
All
hopefully it
because
stays that way.
all because you just kept
Everyone, I
bullying me
think,
earlier in the year.
What's that, Bob?
All because you kept bullying me earlier in the year about going to IRCHA.
Yeah, the tables have turned now.
Yep. Go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry.
Yep, no, I'm bullied into it.
You're not bullied into anything.
Uh
You barely took an arm twist.
Yeah.
huh.
He just you promised him a twisted tea and he said, I'm there.
Yeah, he's like, all right.
Yep.
Yeah, not even a case, just one.
Yeah, it was one
Yep.
can. You're gonna drive 10 hours for one can of twisted tea. Yep, there you go.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Anytime if there's twisted there, I'm there, baby. I'm with it. No,
That
I
makes you a
definitely
twisted
agree
hoe.
with Mike as far as you kind of need that community to feed off of, and that's why I've always been any hobby I've done has always been more of that seeking adrenaline sort of thing. Whether it's like I grew up skateboarding and transitioned into helicopters. Now I primarily RC drift and do real car drifting as well. And all of that kind of gives that same feeling of you're always working towards something, whether you're up flying on the helicopter sim or like I have a racing sim, practicing on that. I like the hobbies that give you that always something to work towards. And I think that the biggest thing in this hobby that keeps me going, and same with drifting, all of that, is you're never done. You've never reached a limit. It's kind of like sports, basketball player, you're never the best in the world. You always got competition. You always got, and that's kind of what I like with this stuff. There's not one person in this hobby that is the best. And you can always be better at a certain thing than someone in that hobby. So I really like this because you're always working on something. Kind of like you said, Mike, you're always working on new maneuvers. You want to learn some stuff for a fun fly. It always keeps you coming back. And I think you're always going to go in waves where you're out of the hobby a little bit, you're back into it. You're out of it, you're back into it. And that's kind of just the natural swing of, I think, any hobby, really.
Yeah, I've noticed everybody kind of does the same thing. They kind of go 110%, and then some last longer than others, and then they kind of fizzle away a little bit, but never quite fully disappear. They always, keep a finger on the hobby in some sort. And then next thing you know, a couple years go by and they're popping back up again and asking questions again, and then you're seeing them at events again, and then they're buying a bunch of different stuff. And so I think it's pretty common for people to go through that. But I think you're right, Aaron. I think going to the field and having people there to kind of chit chat with and hang out with feeds in a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, I love flying as much as the next guy. However, I almost never, I actually never will be at the field alone just because I get bored. You can fly and fly and fly, but if you don't have someone there to BS with, talk to, kill some time in between flights, I get bored. Not just from the flying, just from being at the field. I can hang out at the field all day. I can go to a multiple day fun fly. But if you sit me at the field for 2 hours alone just to put flights in by myself, I'm going to be bored out of my mind, honestly. And you just need that energy there to feed off of, whether it's, hey, you got to work on this, or damn, that was an awesome flight. Just any sort of energy to feed off of is what I love at the events. And that's the best. You can't beat that. When you're at an event, you're at center stage. Even if you're watching, you're watching someone fly at center stage, just that energy. You can see them. You see them throwing it down. You see them giving that extra little bit of oomph to it. And that's what I love. Risking it all, really.
Yeah.
So now, how upset are you going to be since work is dragging their feet for you to give you the approval for the days off if they come back and you can't have the time off?
I'll get off. I'll figure it out.
I was going to say, how bummed out are you going to be that
I know
when
a
you go
guy.
over there? And
Yeah, I know a guy at work I'll talk to.
we got the sweet camper going to be staying at the field. It's going to be a great time.
We're gonna get John to talk to some of his old New York friends and see if we can't, make something happen where he's gonna have to be off or else.
Yeah. Yeah. That goes back to I know a guy.
Yeah.
Hey, let Aaron off or you're going to get some broken kneecaps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If you know what's good for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Call my job and tell them that. They'll love that.
He's going to be too busy cooking on his grill and need to be able to contact anybody. John, that is.
Yeah.
He's all about the cooking, so we'll have to go to the
Shit,
store
I'll be
and
with him.
get in some burgers and brats, and we'll let him. I don't know if I still have it or not. That little chef hat from a couple years ago out with you guys.
Oh, I got one.
Okay, I was gonna say we'd have to bring in that out, and I just thought of that now as we're talking. I have to look if I can find mine. If not, you'll have to bring yours out. We'll go to the event and put the little chef hat on him, and then we'll get Aaron to run out, and he can grab the cone, and then he can cone him while he's cooking.
Cone the chef.
Cone the chef. That's right.
Nice.
Cone the coner. If you don't know what
That's
that
funny.
means, every year at IRCHA, John decides to go out and grab one of the cones and how shall we say it? Stand behind you with a cone and somewhat of a provocative picture, but he always picks one person every year at IRCHA to do that too. That's become a tradition for him for the last, I don't know, maybe 8-10 years, something like that.
Not just Urcha, any fun fly with him.
It started
Yeah,
mostly with
and
IRCHA, but then I think it's grown.
I'm pretty sure if he's seen you in traffic that road construction is going on and he can get his hands on a cone, he'd do the same thing.
Probably, yeah. So we'll have to figure that out for him. Get some cones and put around the grill, and give him his own little area.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That's funny.
I don't know, maybe a week or two ago, I put a poll out on Facebook talking about this subject that we have here for why do you fly? Because pretty much I think a lot of the people's are either going to be, we thought anyway, it was going to be to relax or, to go get better and that adrenaline rush, kind of thing. So it seemed to be most of them just with various, I think, Mike, you might have a couple of them that you brought up to go over, but I will say, and I didn't look, you probably have the name in front of you. I just wrote down some of the comments, but I got to say the funniest one I saw, I kind of think the dude's name was Nathan. You can correct me on that, but he just said to get away from his wife. So, and I just find that hilarious. So
I have one. I gotta find it here. This guy is my favorite. So this was from Paul Lasoger. He's one of the guys that does the rotor flight movement that's going on. He's in charge of the Facebook group. At least he is the guy he's the gatekeeper, anyways. It seems so. But his reason was for going out to fly was to have a reason to buy new underwear.
Yes, I saw. Yes,
that one's my favorite by far. It's awesome.
Well,
and that
would be depending on who. I mean, I guess if you're flying that close to yourself and you're doing some dumb thumbs, maybe, or if you're standing next to somebody, depending on how they fly. But
yep,
I'm overly cautious. I fly far enough out because, like with that 770, if you're coming around doing something and that tail goes, I don't want that thing coming to my face. I just fly overly cautious maybe sometimes, but I'd rather be safe and have it out a little further. But to each your own.
Well, I mean, I think everybody goes through a stage where they're going through a maneuver, and there's always that one part of it where you're clenched so tight you couldn't even slip a grease BB up your ass.
Oh yeah. For me, it was learning when I was learning to fly. It was forward flight. And you'll remember it, Aaron, because it was I was flying on my old Blade 400, and I was just trying to fly circles. Like, I mean, not just flying out larger like the pattern, as the plane guys would call it. And I would just fly nice big ovals. However, I would go out to my right. I'd start making a nice big left turn. And for some reason, I'd get to about, let's say, 2:00. And all I had to do was hold it through. It was going fine. But my brain saw something that it didn't and would always tell me I needed to correct. And whatever it told me to correct, I corrected wrong and I'd smack it into the ground. And I started getting angry. So I'm like, okay, now I know what not to do. I'd go out, fix it up. I'd do it again, and I'd do the same thing. So it was probably the third or fourth time I went out, and I'm like, damn it, I have this now. I've done this how many times? How can it be so stupid? I can't do this. And I went and did the same thing again. And I pretty much lost my shit.
Aaron
was there. One other friend was standing there, and I just was like, this motherfucking piece of shit. Like, I just went off like more than I've ever gone off. And it wasn't the heli's fault; it was my fault. But after I lost my shit on that, I actually was fine. Like all of a sudden, just that quick, it clicked and I was fine doing it. But no clue what my brain did, and I didn't find that learning that just something simple like find that fun at all. That's why I say I got to relax and enjoy myself, because then I let everything happen. If I'm relaxed and stress free, I'll dumb thumb and make a mistake and then go, oh, that's kind of cool. Let me try that again. And then I'll try something on purpose and then kind of figure it out from there. So
I think that's super important. You do have to be relaxed. And when I say like flying for adrenaline, I don't mean I'm out there gung ho, shaking, ready to go. I'm still relaxed. It's if you're not in a relaxed state, you're not gonna fly good. Period. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a pro. If you're going out and you're nervous and anxious and you're not relaxed, you're not gonna fly well. You're gonna overfly. You're gonna try and be rough on the sticks more than you have to. And I very similar to what you were doing. You know, newer pilot. You were only a year and a half in. You were being rough on it, and you just weren't getting anywhere because you weren't relaxed.
Yep.
Once you finally hit that point where you're like, all right, fuck it, whatever happens, happens. I'm relaxed, and you kind of came to terms with it. Everything came smoother, I think, for you.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the same thing, like I was mentioned earlier with the 700s with the big helis. Just the sound of them got inside my head a little bit, you know. And I would build them, I'd work on them, maintain them for you guys, you and your brother, and you know, I worked on many other people's helis too, and I'm fine with it. But I'd go to fly it, and you just get that sound, and there was something that just messed me up. My right thumb would just start shaking. You've seen it, Aaron. Where in control, it would just start shaking, and I'm like, I'm trying to get over it, and I wasn't even trying to, but I was just, I don't want to say nervous, and sometimes I felt like I was calm and relaxed, but I guess I wasn't. But that's where I'm finally at that point this year where whatever, something clicked, and I'm just like, whatever, I don't care, and I'm flying better than I probably ever have. I'm feeling more comfortable with it than I ever have probably, and
you are flying better, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of letting everything kind of go. And you know, I think part of it is last year I didn't get to fly much at all, and then I was going to step away from it. Even sold a few helis, and then kind of came back with a vengeance this year. And some of that is due to Mike, which, and I'm not saying it is a bad thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. Again, the camaraderie part, the talking, pushing each other a little bit, and then the what is it? The what do they call it? The FOMO or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the fear of missing out.
Yeah, you know, and some of that comes into it, and I think that's where I'm at with IRCHA, because you know I did miss out a few years on IRCHA, and damn it, I don't want to again. I'm really excited about this year.
Even as much as people complain about IRCHA, it's still one of the best events that I go to throughout the year.
Yeah, it still just sucks to be driving 9-10 hours.
I look at it as like a long camping weekend, you know?
Yeah.
I can give a shit less what's going on, what kind of politics there's going on, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm there to enjoy myself and relax, and you know.
We're gonna be there for a good time, not for a long time, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
There we go.
That's right. So kind of going a little bit of a different direction. What gets you guys to go to fun flies? Like, what's something that you see that goes, oh man, I want to try to make it there? Is there anything in particular you guys look for? Like, I don't know, maybe a certain pilot being there, or I don't know, different things. Maybe not so much heli related, but like airplanes. I know airplane fun flies, they like to do like fun fly games where you flip a ball over out of a cup, or you know, limbo or stuff like that.
Exactly that. I could give less of a shit what pros are there, who's gonna go fly with 30 people behind them, then go hide in their camper. I could give less of a shit. What I care about is the games. Exactly. When you go, head count, you know, how many pilots are going to be there. If you're going and there's a 15, 20 pilot count and it's people you don't really know, you know, whatever, go have fun. It's not really something I'm going to be crazy about. However, like that Ohio event I did with you guys, an absolute blast. You know, a lot of the Virginia events, they did games, they did like auto rotation contests, they did heli drag racing. From what I understand, this year at IRCHA, they're going to be doing like a water lift, like you lift stuff up with your skids. There's a lot of games and a lot of interactive stuff, and that is what I look forward to. Just because I could give less of a shit about another pro pilot going and laying it down. There's a million sponsored pilots now at these fun flies that are all kind of average, to be honest.
Hey.
It doesn't really mean anything.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. I suck.
It doesn't really mean anything when a quote unquote sponsored pilot's going out to fly. I look for the interactive stuff. I like to see the 45-year-old guy where it's his father and son going out and doing the water lift competition, or that really is where the fun happens and where everyone's laughing and making memories. And I think that is the biggest thing at a fun fly is head count, making sure the right people are going to be there, and hosting it properly, doing games, doing interactive stuff to get the whole crowd involved. Maybe someone just brought a Blade 450 in their trunk. They weren't going to fly, but they see this water lift contest and go, hell yeah, I'm going to do this. That is some of the coolest shit to me.
Nice.
I agree. So all of that is good, but for me, it's real easy. I go for the people, to hang out and just be around friends. It's kind of funny, but I've always been this way. When I go to events, I do less flying at an event than I do if I just went to the field to fly.
I'm the same way.
I spend more time just hanging out with the people that I haven't seen, for a long time. Like obviously, like you, Mike, you're how many hundreds of miles away from me, but we talk more, communicate more. But it's different when you're in person and you're sitting right there with the person and you're able to be face to face and talk and have stuff, have a beer with somebody. It's just
Right.
It's just better that way. So I go to events to socialize, to meet new people or catch up with friends I haven't seen for a year or 6 months or whatever the case may be, and to get my video camera and go out and get some good video. That's it. That's really it for me. If I pretty common actually. We used to go to IRCHA our longer dates, and I'd get there on a Tuesday morning, and I didn't leave till either Sunday or Monday. So we'd be there for all effectiveness a week, and I would usually be lucky if I had 3 flights in, maybe 4 for the whole week if I'm lucky. Sometimes it was 1 or 2, and I was fine with that. It didn't bother me one bit. I was usually busy with other stuff or just sitting there talking to someone. Especially at IRCHA back in the day. 2012, 13, 14, those years were the big years. So it was nothing to be talking to somebody from overseas somewhere on another continent from a different part of the world and learning about their culture, even if it wasn't heli stuff, learning about their culture, or how does their culture handle helis? Do they view it as, grown men or grown people playing with toys, or, is it looked down upon? Just learning all that sort of stuff. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. There was a guy who would go to IRCHA every year. I think he was from Canada. He would always somehow for like 3-4 years straight would always end up pitting next to us. And I used to love just sitting down with him and listening to his stories, because his profession, he built like exotic race cars for like high end people, like people that, VIP people that have, more
Rich people.
More money, more money than they know what to do with. So he would build these like customized, exotic cars, Lamborghinis, and he would tell me some stories. It was just hilarious how, like, some of these guys were totally clueless and had nothing to do, had no knowledge of anything about a car at all, and they would want specific things just because one of their friends had it and they wanted to do it better or something. So it was cool to sit down and just, like, every year he would have a whole new slew of stories. It was pretty cool. I looked forward to it all the time. But I agree with you guys. Going for the people for sure. The camaraderie, just like the reason I go to the field. Bob, I'm the same as you. I end up flying less at Fun Flies, and I spend most of my time just kind of hanging out, or just working on stuff, helping people get stuff going, helping somebody try to figure out a issue with their tuning or whatever. And watching people do the games, and same thing that Aaron was saying it. So I'm with you guys all 100%.
Yeah, well, there we go. We can be, because I think I know one of them at least Aaron wants to do, so we can go be cheerleaders for him. So, because I think he wants to do, they're doing, what is it, for the 200 size helis? So, like the little logo 200s, the OMPs, they're doing like an obstacle course.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And I guess any of the ones you enter, you get like an extra raffle ticket then too. So, with all the ones. So, I was talking to him about the different events, and that was one. His eyes lit up a little bit on that one. So, I think he wants to do the obstacle course. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I definitely want to do the obstacle course, and from what I understand, the water pour or the water drop. The water drop sounds like an absolute blast.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one.
No, I'm doing it. I'll figure something out. I'll use my 600 for that.
Yeah, yeah, you need a big one because they fill a water jug halfway full, a gallon jug halfway full, and they set it out there, and you got to go pick it up. You go up so high, and then you got to dump it off the skids and try to hit the mark on the ground.
Yeah, I'll use
Oh,
my
really?
bigger
They
600 for
apparently
that.
they did it last year, so and they've
Oh,
done
wow.
it before, so it looks interesting. There has, I will say, so it's I don't have it up in front of me now, but like if you go to the IRCHA website, they have a thing you can click on. I think it's called for like the brochure or the flyer or something. And if you read through it all, it actually tells you a lot of the different stuff that they plan on trying to do this year, which is kind of cool. So they're going to have all these little sub events going on that you can do. So, and one of the things is if you enter to do these, you automatically get an extra raffle ticket. So
Nice.
it's kind of cool. It's a way of getting more event participation and stuff. I don't know if I'll do any of them, but I'll be there to make sure to video them for sure because I think there's going to be some good stuff going on. See how many people wreck just trying to pick up the water jug, or even on the little helis. Depending on how they have the obstacle course set up. I don't know if they're flying through hoops, flying through stuff, but there's always going to be some carnage.
Yeah, that I'm excited for because the little stuff was never showcased or focused too much. They always had the little flight line off to the side for the micros, and people went over, but now they're doing an actual course, which I think is awesome because you're going to get people who normally may not have flown out on that course to mess around. And I'm glad there's a little more showcase coming to the micro stuff because anyone who knows me, I've loved and still love the micro stuff. That is some of my favorite. Honestly, just because it's friendly on the wallet and you can beat the shit out of it and save yourself a lot of money. So
I got one
really,
for.
really excited.
There's one here. Me and Aaron. We got to get in this one.
Which one?
It's the 200 class streamer combat.
Oh, you're looking. Yeah,
Oh,
you're looking
yeah.
up. That's right. That's one too. Yeah.
I'm down. Mike,
no.
just picking the OMP up.
Yep, I got one. It's an M1. It's smaller than a 200, but it'll go.
I got my my little M2 I'll take up with you.
Yeah, I think you have yours is the M2. What the heck is it?
Evo.
No,
Explorer
I have
or
the
Evo?
Evo. Yeah, you have the Explorer.
Yeah, mine's the
I have
Explorer,
the
you have the
Evo.
Evo, yep.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's right.
Because yours, the Explorer, is a little smaller than the Evo yet. A little shorter tail
it's
boom,
got-
little shorter blades.
Yeah, it's got the sketchy tail on it. You can blow
Yeah, I
out
need a
pretty
new
easy.
tail on that. So yeah, that's what I was referring to. So we we'll fuck it up, go buy a new tail and go from there.
I'm pretty sure you could bolt the Evo tail on that.
You can put the Evo tail on
Yeah.
the bigger blades, but like when he flies mine, he blows the tail out on it too. So
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it just
That's,
doesn't like
in
taking
fairness,
the
not
beating
flying
or
it like the way they're set up right now, they will blow out quicker than an MCPX tail, and that says a lot.
Yeah.
However, they're set up right now. I mean, if you breathe on the tail rung, they blow out. So we're still trying to figure out different settings, different whatever for it because they're interesting to fly right now.
I think you're just spanking on it a little bit too hard and you don't realize it. But that's just my
Yeah.
opinion. What do I know?
I got about 10 seconds into my last flight and decided to land it because my tail was giving out. That is not right.
Yeah, and that was 5 minutes after the 770 went in on you. So,
Yeah.
you were having flashbacks on, the heli going in.
Yeah, I just didn't want to wreck more that day. I'd rather go home with my heli in one piece. I'm not 16 anymore. I can think an hour or two ahead, and I want to go home with my stuff not broken.
Uh-huh. Amazing how that happens.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the carnage list isn't too big at IRCHA this year.
No promises.
It's kind of funny. This show, we, talking mostly about why we fly and, why we go to events, why we're doing it. And not that we keep talking about IRCHA, it's sort of turned into that because it's the next really big event going on. But it's just kind of funny how it all kind of keeps tying together and, all
I'm more impressed that-
paths lead to IRCHA.
I'm more impressed that IRCHA actually has updates on their website now.
Yeah, not updates from
More-
5 years ago.
Yeah, more than just how to give them money for a membership.
Yep, that's all it was before.
Yep.
Yes,
Glad we got those people out. Now that those people are out, I can finally say it. A couple of them were absolute dickheads, and I'm so glad they're out. Glad
I
the
said
new
it while
people
they were
are
in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yelling at me for just riding a skateboard through IRCHA. I'm gonna
I
cause a problem
had-
for no
so-
reason.
Bert, I don't know if you guys remember when Bert came out with those T-shirts that say "Keep RC Helis Alive."
Yes.
Yep.
So I had one of those T-shirts on. I was walking through the center stage area one year, and one of the IRCHA members stopped me and said, you got to change that shirt. And I said, "Oh, excuse me? Because you can't wear that shirt here. RC helis haven't died. We don't do that whole keep helis alive because they're not dying. They're here to stay." And I'm like, this guy's crazy. So he was like being serious, wanted me to go change my shirt. It's like you're out of your mind.
You tell him to go pound sand.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the next year, he was setting up all the prizes at the raffle table, and I approached him and I said, "Excuse me, do you know what time you guys are going to be doing the raffle?" He didn't even look up, didn't acknowledge me, like look at me and say, "Hey, sorry, but I'm busy right now." He just straight up said, "I'm not answering any questions," and kept stacking stuff on the table.
Wow.
And I said, "Oh, wow. So I see you're very approachable. Good way to be a ambassador of the hobby." And I walked away from him.
Yep.
I guess you don't have to answer questions when you're embezzling a shit ton of money.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, that those guys needed to go. Their time was up
They
a
needed to go
long,
many
long time
years
ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to the point, I remember I was driving down to Center Stage when I was with Horizon. I was going down to our booth, and they had just painted the Urcha logo on the ground. And it was right at center where you had to drive around, like, through a gate, and it was a one lane for golf carts. No other way through. A guy flags me through for staff. I start driving through, and another guy on the other side starts yelling at me, and it was a very well-known Urcha board member. Older gentleman, and he starts yelling, going off on me, swearing at me because I drove through it. I said, "Dude, the other guy waved me through." They were just very miserable. They should have been out of there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly glad there's new people on the board. Some people actually in the hobby. Those guys were completely out of touch. And completely just not with the times at all. So I'm really glad that Urcha is back and alive again.
Yeah, back when they started complaining about they didn't have the funds for fireworks and stuff, that they should have thrown up some flags.
Yeah, the one year I remember
as these sponsors,
Bert paid for the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, as much as these sponsors were paying for their tents and paying for spots and all the money that was coming into it, for it was just ridiculous when you started like looking at it. And I mean, I'm glad Angel took the time to expose all of it, basically. So it brought it to light. I think if you find one of the other podcasts that's out there, I think they did some interviews with those guys and probably rehashed all that, went over everything. So if you're not sure and you want to hear more about it, I'm sure you can find it through one of those. I'm not sure who all did it, but I know one of them did.
Yeah.
But also, since we are talking about Urcha, if you come find us, myself, Mike, or Aaron, we are going to have with us. I still have a bunch of jet tags, jet tags left. We have a whole bunch of full package decals we can hand some of that stuff out. If you want one, come find us. We'll give you one of those. We are going to have limited number, but we'll have some t-shirts available as well. So we got to promote the swag, out there as well. Try to get some people walking around with the t-shirts on, bring more attention to the podcast. And that would be kind of cool too. So we are going to have some of that stuff. If you're looking for any of that, come find us, come let us know, and we will be there. I'll be there from Thursday to Sunday. So come find me anytime.
Yeah, if you get a t-shirt, make sure you wear it at the event. Just if anybody asks, you're not promoting us.
No, I don't care.
You're just supporting us.
Yeah, you're supporting us. You're promoting us. Whatever. If you're just walking around in a t-shirt, nobody can say anything.
Sorry,
that's fine.
Had to do it.
Yeah, I know.
Some may not be for sale, but we will certainly trade you a twisted tee for a key tag, or depending what you got, we can work with you.
Oh, you're saying if they give you a twisted, you'll give them a jet tag?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? After I just got done saying we're going to give them out for free anyway?
Your son's an entrepreneur.
That's what I'm getting at. Free or for a tee? Come on.
No.
Come on.
I see how you're doing it.
If you want a t-shirt, we accept payment in the way of 700s.
It's an expensive goddamn t-shirt. Blind and freaking gold or something.
Yeah, no, these are nice t-shirts. The best t-shirts you can get.
Yeah, they are. They're going to turn out pretty good. So I'm going to get a bunch of those
700s with or without Blaze. We're not going to be stingy. Even
if it's a 700 and needs a fly barless system, we can take that too. Actually, it's funny. So that being said, And this is this past week. You know how it's going, and not saying I want to do it now, but if someone happened at Urcha to bring like a nice 600 or 700 flybarred heli, yeah, maybe I'd be interested. Or if you do have something, shoot me a message. Let me know what you have. See what we could work out. I wouldn't mind having a big flybarred heli just because.
And the fleet keeps growing, growing,
yeah,
and growing.
Well, it's that
Yeah.
option. I have because I have really good helis. Honestly, I have a mixture of brands of whatever, and they're all really good. But I
You
still
the
don't
best fleet
have
I've ever seen you have. Yeah.
I don't have a scale heli, which I think I want to do off of one of my 600s that I have, and do like a 600 size scale heli. And I don't have a big flybarred, so I think I need to have all my bases covered.
They need to. One of these manufacturers need to do a nostalgia run and just do like 100 kits of a flybar heli.
Yeah, then everybody's gonna be scrambling trying to find like the old Futaba 401 gyros.
No, you use an icon. Just turn your cyclic gains to 0.
Would that work? You think?
Yeah,
What?
people do it all the time.
They've done it?
People do it all the time.
I've always wondered if it would actually work because in my brain
Yeah.
it seemed like it would, but then I'm thinking, I don't know if that would actually work.
Yep.
Huh? Okay.
Huh.
Yeah, but see, if you're gonna do nostalgia, you got to do it right, and you got to throw one on there. You got to
Yeah,
find
that's
the old
true.
401.
Yeah.
I'll strip it off your 450, Aaron.
No. No, that's staying there.
You
I
gonna?
probably have like 3 of them in a box somewhere.
Yeah, I did. I actually sold. I had 1 or 2 extras, and I ended up selling them at one point because I'm like, I'm never gonna need these anymore.
Well, back in my Align 700 Nitro days, I was buying up everybody's old flybarred Nitro Align helis
Yep.
because the frames and stuff were the same, and it was cheaper. Like you could buy somebody's old flybar heli for like $300
Yeah.
and have a whole ton of spares. Like, and instead of buying, frame size, and half of them they give it to you with blades or servos in it still. So it was I probably bought like 8 or 9 Nitro Align helis, just peeling
Not
stuff
gonna lie,
off and
those
throwing
are-
it in a box.
Those are still like some of my favorite helis to watch fly or go back and watch fly. When you watch like, if you remember like the Smack Talk days with like Bobby and Bert, where they were all flying like Nitro Flybar T-Rex 700s.
Mhm.
That era of flying was just, I don't know why, when you brought up all the old 700 stuff, that era of flying was the coolest.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. That was
Yep,
definitely.
we need to make sure we get some flybar helis like you guys mentioned on the last episode.
Yeah. I think we're gonna, we got to get some flybar representation going on there. Get a couple people
Yeah,
together.
if you own a flybar heli, bring it with you to Urcha if you're coming, and
Yeah.
we'll try and see if we can't get some flying in.
Come track us down, and we'll all go to a spot and hang out together, and it'll be a good time. And hey,
Hell yeah.
We're there for it.
I have a bullhorn, so that'll be fun. I'll be able to yell at people and use that because I'm bringing that thing to Urcha with me.
Oh, then I'm getting on it too. I'll be yelling at people. I'll make sure Mike's out there and egging them on.
Yeah, I was thinking that we got to do a repeat from that one thing. We got to get Dana flying and then have Aaron out flying while Dana's flying. We got to see if we can get her to fly out there at Urcha. What do you think? Think she'll do it?
Oh yeah, she flies out there all the time.
Good.
She flew center stage a couple years ago.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're
So
gonna.
she's better than 90% of the people that show up. I mean, she's a good pilot, man. She can throw down. We'll do a little dual flight. We'll get Mike in with us.
Yeah. Can do it.
I think
Except
I'm
this
gonna-
time with 700s.
I'm gonna see if I can't find a nice carbon fiber rod, like a good 1/4 inch, 3/8, something like that. See if I can't zip tie it to my head of my flybarless heli and put some
Oh.
paddles on it.
Nice. Just to see what it'll do, right? Throw you all out of
Yeah.
balance, and yeah.
Make everybody wear face shields.
Yeah, I was just gonna say somehow I don't think that's gonna work out too well.
Yeah, I'll be
That's
backing
great.
up, hiding under the canopy then.
Yeah.
It'd be like the old days of waiting for the helis to come back behind the flight line.
Yeah. You see me standing at the flight cone with hockey gear on, you'll know what's going on.
Yep, absolutely.
I understand there's no more quick helis in rotation, so hopefully we won't have to hide.
Maybe I don't know. We're out at Urcha, we're doing it. We'd have to figure out a way to do a live podcast from out there, or either maybe tape one from out there or do it live. I don't know. What do you think?
I'd love that. Yeah.
It'd be fun.
I don't know if we do it live or if we just tape
We'll
a whole
call-
bunch of random stuff from
we'll
out there and put it together. What do you guys think? Let us know.
I'll get my people to reach out and see if we can't get it sponsored by Twisted Tea.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, if we get a Twisted Tea sponsorship, oh my god,
Yeah.
I'd cry.
We'll bring you plenty of Twisted Tea, Aaron. We'll make sure it's there for you. Doesn't have to be sponsored. We'll just go to the place and buy it. But I don't know. I think let us know what you think. Would you guys like to see? Should we do a podcast from out there as live, or should we do a normal podcast from there, record it, so then we can make sure it goes together and flows better. When you're trying to listen to it. Let us know. Let us a comment. Let us know what you think.
I think live. I'm down with live.
You think live? Aaron,
Why not?
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. If we did like a live video podcast, of us out at the field, have a little setup, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it would be good. I just gotta. I don't know. I'll have to educate myself now how to do live stuff though, and how I don't know.
I can handle all that.
Well, my worry about out there is you're in the middle of freaking nowhere, like bumblefuck nowhere. So to do a live, how's any kind of signal, or how's that going to work?
Someone out there's got to have Starlink. It's IRCHA. Someone's gonna have Starlink. We can probably borrow their Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but we don't have Starlink, so
we just record the live show.
That's what I mean.
That might be the way to do it. And then
I think because I can set up some
no
cameras.
editing, no cutting, just dump it in a Podbean.
We could easily do it that way. Because we could even do cameras and to put it up on the YouTube thing. Have some cameras set up, and then we could put that on YouTube and then do the audio from it. I can just extract audio. I think that would be pretty fun.
Get some guests.
I was just gonna say get some participation of passerbys or if anybody wants to do it. So let us know. Like I said, if you're listening and you have any thoughts on this, give us some feedback, or if you want to be part of it, let us know. Send us a comment. IRCHA is rapidly approaching. We're like 6 weeks away, man. So by the time you listen to this, it'll probably be 5 weeks away because I'm usually a week behind from the time we record that you hear it. So yeah, I'm a little slow with that stuff. What do you think, guys? We're approaching. We're almost at about an hour. We're hitting our time limits here, huh?
Yeah, I think. I don't know if I got anything. Oh, I do want to talk about something.
Okay.
So I dabbled in, and I probably should have brought this up earlier, but I went ahead in my few weeks or whatever I've been away. I also picked up some of those new Nexus fiberless units, and I picked up one of the FR Sky X18 radios and the FR Sky receivers and all that stuff. And I gave Rotorflight a shot. I gotta say, I don't think it's for me, but I can see that could be a very powerful fiberless system if somebody's got the patience to learn it. So just a warning for people who see a new fiberless out there and want to kind of, keep up with the Joneses and buy whatever's new. If you are not familiar with setting up a helicopter on any other fiberless unit, do not buy this fiberless unit because it gets in the weeds pretty deep. And you have to kind of understand what's happening while you're setting up your Icon or your V-bar or whatever to understand how to set this one up because it's definitely a little bit different. I don't want to say it's not ready for like a mass group of people getting their hands into it because I'm a little worried with the experience I had. And I've been setting up helis since 2014, I think, is when I started flying. And I struggled with it. It took me a while. I had to drag Kenny Hutton in. He was a big help. He spent hours with me on the phone trying to help me set up the radio and get stuff where it needed to be. Now the actual setting up the fiberless part wasn't bad, but prepping everything to get to that point was a little difficult. And it's probably mostly because I was new to the radio, new to the receiver protocol, new to the fiberless. It's a whole new process to begin with. So there was a big steep learning curve for me going into it. And I got it to where I could fly it. Flew fairly decent. The biggest part that I didn't like about it is you tune it with PIDs. So you don't actually have like a general tail gain slider that you can move up or down, and it adjusts all three of the control loop PID gains in the background. You have to physically go in and set the P gain, the I gain, the D gain to make your tail change whatever you want it to do. And I don't understand that part of it. I never took the time to look into tuning that deep. So just be aware if you're gonna dive into it, you're gonna try it. Be patient. It's gonna be a learning curve for anybody that tries it. But I think if you can understand it, I think it could be, you could basically tune anything you want out. One of the cool things was they actually have a filter, or a black box they call it, that you could see like in a graphic format what your tail's doing and what each control loop's doing in the tune. So if you're struggling with like a wag or a bobble or something, you could actually physically see it on a graph, and you can make changes to it and see those, like physically see those changes in the graph to try to tune it to where it doesn't do that anymore. So it's like a whole extra tool in your tool belt for tuning helis.
That sounds pretty cool if you know what you're looking for. Like it almost sounds like the equivalent would be like a standalone ECU, like on a race car. That's where you can tweak every single parameter, and that sounds, if you know what you're looking at or adjusting, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
As a newer pilot, it sounds intimidating, if you're just getting into it. But that does sound nice for someone who takes the time to understand what they're working with. That is pretty cool.
Yeah. And the reason I wanted to kind of put the warning out is because like Heli Directs got it posted all over their website and on their Facebook. I'm getting ads for the Nexus unit, and like it doesn't really describe the process and how different it is from what people are used to seeing. So just know it's going to be a learning curve no matter where you're coming from. Unless, I guess, if you flew drones, I guess the Rotor Flight software is based off of Betaflight. So I don't know anything about drone stuff, and I think if I did, I probably wouldn't have struggled as much. But I guess the tuning and everything's very similar to what Betaflight does for Rotor Flight. But the guys over Kenny's podcast, Rotor Revolution, I believe is what it's called. They actually had one of the developers on. I think he was a developer or a guy who's been using it for a long time, one or the other. They did a podcast on it. It was actually pretty knowledgeable. So if you guys are thinking about that, hit that up and know that I'm going back to my Futaba and I'm going to live a happy life just hooking stuff up.
What about your radio? How's that?
I am not a tinkerer, man. That was, if you're a tinkerer in the hobby, you would love it. I am not. I want to plug in and go, and like I don't do telemetry. I don't do none of that stuff just because I just doesn't interest me.
But is that as well for the radio then though too?
Yes. I've wiped my hands of all of it. I'm just gonna stick with what I know works.
What radio are you sticking with?
I have the Futaba 16 IZ is what I've been using the last couple of years.
Okay.
Nice.
The moment for me was I took a heli out that was set up on Rotor Flight, and I took a heli out that was set up on my Spartan with the fiberless unit, or the Futaba radio. I flew the Rotor Flight one with the Nexus unit on the new radio. I like the ergonomics of the radio a lot. And I just, like, I was taking off, landing, tuning something, taking off, landing, tuning something, changing this, changing that. Got it to where it felt, okay, not great. And I was 2 batteries in by the time I got it to that point. Now, the heli that I had set up on my Spartan that I typically use, I actually put together at our Father's Day Fun Fly on a table that wasn't level. Through the fiberless on, I eyeballed everything. Nothing's been actually gone through and properly set up yet. I put the heli in the air. I landed it one time. I changed like 2 or 3 things, and it flew amazing. Like perfect. I got to enjoy 2-3 batteries out of it. Didn't have to keep chasing something around or wondering. And I'm like, this is my happy place. That whole trying to tune this out or that out when I don't know what I'm doing is not for me.
There's something to be said.
That was my
something to be said about sticking to what you know, sticking to what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah,
absolutely. Make it work.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I don't want to down talk it in any way because it's a great system. Like I said, it could be very powerful if you could learn how to use it, because you could tune virtually anything that you want out of it. They actually recommend that you hard mount the gyro. They don't want you like, what's the word I'm looking for? They don't want you putting like any kind of dampening on the gyro,
isolation
no
or
pieces
anything.
of tape, or not. They want you hard mounting it
Really?
because they want you to be able to see all of the vibrations and everything that's in that black box. It records all that, and you tune the helicopter to like not be affected by any of that stuff. So they actually said that you can take a helicopter that has a bent feathering shaft and a bent main shaft, and you can get it to fly and feel like it has nothing wrong with it at all.
At that
with
point,
all
it's
those
just
tuning
quicker
parameters
to
that you have.
replace the bent main shaft and feathering shaft than it would be to tune the thing, though.
Well, they're just saying that that's the capabilities of it.
Yeah,
like you
no, I
can
get that.
you could tune a bent main shaft out of it, and it would feel like it's a regular everyday helicopter.
Yeah, it's a powerful system, is what they're saying, getting at. I get that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
Obviously, you don't want to fly with a bent main shaft, anyways, because it's probably going to vibrate itself apart. Screws are going to fall out, and somebody's going to get hurt.
And then it'll blow up.
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully, it'll happen. Well, I was gonna say hopefully it happens when I'm video, and then I can pull a Bill Ann
You got that on
from
video.
Dragonfly. I got that on video.
I love Bill.
I do too. Yeah, Bill's an awesome guy. Not
Yeah.
ragging on him, but we're gonna have fun with that when I see him for sure. I'm sure everybody is doing that to him already.
Oh,
I saw he just put out his own little spoof video about it. I don't know if you saw that.
Did you see the video that Scott Graham edited? Did you see where he mid-aired his brand new M7?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so Scott Graham went and edited a video for Kenny Ko's victory flight from Global 3D, and it shows Kenny take off, and he goes the same direction, and they cut in Scott's midair, and it
Yeah.
looks like Kenny's did a midair, and then Bill pops his head in there, and goes, "I got it on video." It's pretty
great.
funny. If you haven't seen it, go on the Hangout and check it out. It's
I'll
pretty
have
funny.
I'll have to look that up. That's awesome. Alrighty. Well, Aaron, you brought us in. You
Take
introduced
us home, baby.
So you can take it home. Close us out.
Take her home, baby. Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for supporting us and continuing to support through all the episodes. We appreciate everything. Kind of as we stated, look forward to seeing us at IRCHA. Come find us, look for the swag. And if you guys have any questions, comments, anything, shoot us, any of us, a personal message. Drop it on the Full Package podcast Facebook group. Whatever you guys need, any three of us will respond. And we're always looking for input and always looking for more feedback. So thank you guys again for watching and supporting. We appreciate everything. And you guys got anything to say?
For watching or for listening?
Watching and listening. They're probably watching too.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some of these heli guys are pretty creepy, Bob.
yeah, I know. That's all I got. Thank you guys. You guys have a great night.
All I got is make sure you get your ass out and fly.